We are live from Bujumbura, the economic capital city of Burundi. This is the National Television News. Slate to the headlines. The official handover ceremony of equipment for the Sephore-Rusi Vocational Training Center located in Karusi province. The equipment was donated by the African Development Bank as a part of its support for technical education in Burundi. This Thursday, the Minister of Public Health and the Fight Against AIDS, Lidwine Baradana, was the guest of honor in the Burundian National Assembly. She was there to respond to questions from the deputies regarding the audit report by the Court of Auditors conducted in 4 hospitals located in various districts of the country. I am Evariste Nyongo, the presentation now. Welcome again into this English news in details. The President of the Republic of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye, took part in the official handover ceremony of equipment for Sephore-Rusi Vocational Training Center located in Karusi province. The equipment was donated by the African Development Bank, BAD in the French acronym, as a part of its support for technical education in Burundi. President Ndayishimiye expressed his heartfelt gratitude to the BAD for its steadfast commitment and continued support to the country's development. He also called on Burundians to take initiative, encouraging them with these words: "Let's everyone think about what they can undertake according to their needs." As I said so far in top stories this Wednesday in the Gitega, the political capital city of Burundi, a midterm evaluation of the 5th June 2025 elections was held by the various stakeholders. The President of the Republic of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye, who honored this event with his presence, urged politicians not to pursue positions of power at the expense of the common good. Former presidents advised political actors to align themselves with the governments of Burundi Vision 2040-2060, aimed at transforming the country into an emerging and developed nation. Those who raised the concerns about irregularities were encouraged not to be distracted by election outcomes, but rather to remain focused on their daily responsibilities. Marius Muhigwe has details.
The June 5th election marked a crucial step in Burundi's democratic process. Political actors conducted a comprehensive assessment of the situation, these issues at stake, and the results achieved in the context marked by a desire to ensure transparency, credibility, and stability. The President of the Independent National Electoral Commission emphasized that the process took place in transparency and in compliance with the laws in force. He analyzed the main indicators, among others, voters' turnout, conduct of voting operations. He also mentioned the challenges encountered. He continued by indicating that this report constitutes an objective assessment of the situation, allowing the participants to follow the next stage of the election. The political leaders who are from the many parties took the floor and also recognized the credibility of the results presented by the Commission and welcomed the efforts made to ensure peace and stability. Meanwhile, some have expressed the grievances concerning logistics, security, or transparency, and in some polling stations. Despite these remarks, the majority of politicians accepted the official results, insisting on the need to respect democracy and to avoid any unnecessary recourse that could weaken the stability of the country. The President of the Republic, Evariste Ndayishimiye, expressed his happiness in his speech and a call for the national solidarity. He insisted on the importance of turning the page and the division to work together for sustainable and equitable integrated development. He recorded that elections must strengthen a national unity and a social cohesion by putting the general interest first rather than personal interests. Former presidents of Burundi were also invited to share their electoral experiences, emphasizing the importance of an electoral process credible and peaceful. They called on political actors to demonstrate responsibility, to prioritize the national interest and avoid any behavior that could compromise the peace and the stability of the country. Their central message was also the need to think about the future of the country, leaving aside personal quarrels to build a national understanding. The assessment of the June 5th elections also shows a positive process, cooperation between actors, mutual recognition, and the desire to build a united country.
The Burundian National Assembly met on this Thursday under the presidency of Jelas Daniel Ndabidabe. The guest of honor was Lidinwe Baladana, who came to respond to questions from the deputies regarding the audit report by the Court of Auditors conducted in 4 hospitals located in various districts of the country. The Minister of Public Health presented the main challenges identified in these institutions and proposed appropriate solution to address them. Jackson Irakoze for more.
The Court of Auditors has released its final audit report concerning the management of 4 hospitals: Bururi Hospital, the National Hospital natwe turashoboye in Karose Province, and the district hospitals in Kibumbu and Makamba. The report highlights several major challenges faced by these institutions, including the inappropriate granting of personalized state status to district hospitals, a designation normally reserved for national hospitals, the absence of accounting and financial procedures manuals, a lack of organizational charts, leading to confusion regarding staff roles and responsibilities, and irregularities in public procurement processes. In light of these findings, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Daniel Jelas Ndabidabe, requested the Minister of Public Health and the fight against ADC to propose sustainable solutions to address these shortcomings. In response, Minister Lidinwe Baladana explained that, in accordance with the country's new administrative structure, 3 categories of hospitals will be established: community hospitals, national hospitals in each province, and specialized hospitals dedicated to specific diseases. When asked whether these future national hospitals will have adequate staff and equipment, the minister assured that all necessary resources will be provided to align with the country's national health vision. It should be noted that the Court of Auditors further recommended that the ministry adopt effective and efficient strategies to improve the overall performance and hospitals across the country.
Yes, in politics, this interfaith Thanksgiving prayer organized by the CNDD-FDD party on the last Thursday of each month was held in the Bujumbura province. It was led by the Deputy Secretary General of the CNDD-FDD party, Sidia Kenshimiman. Our colleague Jivanda Ishimie was there.
This interfaith Thanksgiving prayer, organized every last Thursday of the month by the CNDD-FDD party, was held this month under the theme, "May the entire Burundian people be made up of prophets," basing on teachings from the Quran, particularly from Surah 3. Sheikh Ramadan Ndikumana recorded that Burundi has gone through difficult trials marked by divisions and ethnic massacres, all under the watch of the various religious denominations. He therefore urged these religious groups to play a crucial role in the country's development in the fight against fraud, corruption, and the poor economic governance. Sheikh Ramadan Ndikumana called on Burundians to prioritize the public interest over their personal interest or those of their religious affiliation. According to him, this is how they will truly be able to support the President of the Republic in implementing the country's development projects and the national vision. The Provincial Secretary of the CNDD-FDD party in Bujumbura Province, Alexander Ngoragoze, praised the smooth conduct of the recent elections held this June. He recorded that the CNDD-FDD party won 26 seats in the legislative elections in Bujumbura province. He added that now that this victory is secured, the most important thing is to take actions to improve the living conditions of the citizens and ensure real economic development so that Bujumbura province can truly become an economic capital. For his part, the Deputy Secretary General of the CNDD-FDD party, Siriake Nshimirimana, stated that the smooth conduct of the recent elections and the exemplary behavior of Burundians during this period are clear signs that Burundians are patriots. He therefore called on everyone in their localities, especially the newly elected leaders, to promote development. In line with the theme of the month, Siriake Nshimirimana called on the Bagumyabanga to become saint as God commands. For he said, once they are saints, they will be like prophets, and the Holy Spirit will act through them. This will help them remain united, work for the nation, and meet the expectations of the people who elected them. He also wished them to have a heart that unites Burundians, a heart committed to the common good and ready to fight for the people. And with the upcoming elections of communal administrators and the president of communal councils, the Deputy Secretary General of the party urged voters to act wisely in choosing responsible leaders who carry a vision of sustainable development for the population.
Let's now talk about regional integration. A joint meeting of the committees on the transport, communication technologies sectors in COMESA, the member states now gathered in Bujumbura to open just like the meeting there. The Ministry of Trade highlighted the vital role of these sectors in the development of COMESA. Mares Muhigwe once again.
This meeting of national technicians of COMESA member countries was characterized by exchanges related to the development of transport, communications, information, and energy technologies. Each country being invited to provide efforts to develop these sectors, which will be beneficial for the populations and for the exchange of relations between these countries. It was also a question of sharing experiences so that the least advanced countries in these sectors could take, for example, the most advanced countries. Mohamed Kada, Assistant Secretary General of the COMESA, who also opened this meeting, congratulated the technical teams present in this meeting and the countries they represent for the efforts made in the promotion of the transport, communications, information and energy technologies, at the same time calling for those countries to continue to develop these sectors, which will be beneficial for the entire COMESA zone. On the Bolognian side, Christine Nilagila, permanent secretary to the ministry, having trade in her attributions, she returned to the primordial role of these sectors in the development of COMESA, then encouraging these technical teams to work for this development. This joint technical meeting of commissioners in the transport, communications, information and energy technologies sectors in COMESA member countries was organized to prepare the 14th meeting in the ministers responsible for these sectors, the latter being scheduled for Friday, June 27, 2025.
At the United Nations headquarters in New York, Burundi has spoken out about 1972 genocide against the Hutu population. Ambassador Zefre Maniratanga urged the UN to officially recognize this tragedy and establish a memorial to honor the victims. Emma Gloria Ishimo reporting.
At the United Nations headquarters in New York, Burundi, through its ambassador Zefira Maniratanga, addressed the General Assembly on Wednesday, June 25th, during a debate on the principle of the responsibility to protect. In a powerful statement, Ambassador Maniratanga drew the international community's attention to a long-overlooked tragedy, the 1972 genocide committed against the Hutu population in Burundi, recalling that the responsibility to protect should neither be selective nor constrained by time. The Burundian diplomat emphasized that the scale of atrocities must take precedence over political or geopolitical considerations. What I'm about to share with you did not happen today, he said. It occurred more than 50 years ago, and yet it remains a crime in the shadows of international history, a genocide. The ambassador laid out the facts. Between April and July 1972, over 200,000 Hutu people were massacred, targeted solely because of their identity. Teachers, students, priests, ministers, and many others were hunted down and executed, some buried in mass graves, with the complicity of the state institutions in place at the time. In the face of this tragedy, he lamented the silence of international bodies. No official recognition, no UN resolution, not even a memorial space. This silence, he stated, represents a flaw in our collective prevention architecture. Burundi is therefore calling for the formal recognition of this genocide by the United Nations, its inclusion in the Universal Historical Memory, the establishment of a memorial site at the UN headquarters, and international support for transitional justice efforts underway in the country. R2P is not a slogan, he declared. It is a moral, political, and legal commitment. And he concluded with a reminder, people who mourn their dead in oblivion are never truly at peace.
Thank you for bringing that from the beginning to the end. This is It's and catch you later.